silent now, we don't say a word. We're just looking at each other. Tears in our eyes from the words we said.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it kinda broke my heart.
Good, that's better.
Loving you is not so goddamn easy as you think. I'm trying my best to hold on, but I feel myself giving. You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Guam Photography. Today I am reviewing the Hasselblad X1D version 2 that Sandie is holding. Some first impressions about the camera is it's still the best feeling camera that I have ever tried. Same like the X1D 4116 that I used to have version 1. Huge differences. The electronic viewfinder is very huge, very clear. The rear LCD screen is also large as well. I believe it's a 3.6 inch high resolution screen, and the touch function of the screen is so responsive. And we've been shooting for about 20 minutes. Sandie, can you please introduce yourself and also talk about how the shoot's going so far?
Hi guys, I'm Sandie. My Instagram is Sandie Rodrin. The photo shoot's been going pretty well. Definitely way different than what I'm used to. Everything's coming out really nice, especially since there's an overcast going on. And
Soft
I'm really
lighting.
excited. Yeah.
And later on, because you're wearing an outfit, I think that's perfect for your streetwear. We're gonna head up to the main road up there. May get a little bit noisy, but I think we're also gonna get pretty awesome shots.
Yeah.
And you were looking through the EVF earlier,
Yes, I was.
and you were saying it's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear and
Yeah.
concise, and everything's really vibrant. Never seen a camera like this before, so it's really interesting.
Yes. All right, we'll keep on shooting. Yeah, standing for how many hours? Maybe 6 hours. So Sandie is looking through the X1D Mark II's viewfinder. How does the viewfinder look? Is it pretty?
It's so clear.
Very clear?
Yeah. The clarity on it is amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing that the original X1D version 1 did not have, this very clear viewfinder. And what's pretty cool is it's kind of cloudy and the sun is changing, so there's a lot of reflection on the rear LCD, but looking through the EVF, you can see your pictures like really, really clear.
Really clear.
And I know you've done a lot of event modeling, so this is kind of like your first kind of portrait shoot where, yeah, so it really helps you out to see how you look like.
Yeah, definitely.
Some physical features about the X1D version 2 is this is a weather-sealed milled aluminum chassis Hasselblad camera. It is very sturdy and very awesome build quality. I do prefer the grip from the original X1D, which had like a pattern of the H's on it. This grip isn't bad, but I still prefer the first one. Also, this camera still has the recessed big dial button where you can change from aperture to manual mode, your different mode settings, and the two buttons. One is for autofocus, manual focus, and the other one is ISO and white balance, so you can change these things pretty easily. So right now it is very humid and hot. Before I go up to street level, Sandie is just touching up some of her makeup.
I'm trying my best to hold on, but I feel myself giving. You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my part. I'm hurting you as well. I guess that we should say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. I guess that we should say we're sorry.
So I noticed with this Hasselblad 45p lens, focus is really, really terrible. The shutter is really quiet, but even in daylight, trying to no focus on Sandie's face, I'm getting like hit and miss at times. Not too sure why it is. I'm just using the smallest focus point, trying to focus on Sandie's eye. But sometimes it will say it's in focus, it's green. I take it, and then when Sandie looks at the photo, she's like wondering how come I'm out of focus. So I sometimes have to take 2 shots of the same pose. Okay, you look at the camera. I'm recording now. Very good, showing blackout time. Very good. Can you move a little bit to your, very good, yeah. Very nice. Okay, that is good. This is in focus.
Oh yeah, that is in focus.
Very nice. So other physical features, this camera is actually slightly heavier than the version 1. The version 1 was 725 grams. This is around 766 grams. The EVF is amazing, like we keep on saying, 3.69 million dots, 0.87x magnification, really huge and really clear. The rear LCD screen is very large at 3.6 inches. And I believe the screen is high quality at around 2.4 million dots for the screen. It does have dual card slots, UHS version 2 for both, which is here. And also the other compartment has a microphone jack and headphone jack. But overall, these minor improvements, well, I wouldn't say minor, but large AVF, large screen, higher quality LCD screen, and faster UHS 2 cards may make you want to upgrade from the version 1.
Tears in our eyes from the words we said. Yeah, it kind of broke my heart. Loving you is not so.
This has the same 50 megapixel, I call it crop medium format digital sensor, like the X1D version 1. It has auto ISO from 100 to 25,600. Other internal features that's different from the X1D version 1 is it has built-in GPS. The X1D version 1 came with a GPS module, which you would attach to the hot shoe on the top. But this X1D version 2 actually has it built in, which I think is pretty cool. And it has USB-C, which is here on the bottom compartment. And with the USB-C, you can actually charge the battery internally. I believe the X1D version 1 did not have this, where you can charge the battery internally. You would actually have to take it out, like what I'm doing now, and put it on the charger or plug in the charger to the battery itself. Sandie should be coming down soon in her second outfit for the beach. And when she comes down, we're going to be shooting about 30 to 40 more minutes.
That we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change.
Which place? Someone drowning?
The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my part. I'm hurting you as well. I guess that we should say we're sorry.
Okay, so shooting Sandie here using the X-Pan JPEG. This goes back to the film days, super wide aspect ratio, but just want to try it out for this film look that I'm getting here. Pretty interesting. Gonna see how it looks on the computer. And you'll focus, 1, 2, and 3. And
I don't wanna change who you are. Things you say is always one step too far.
okay, so how I take portraits with the Hasselblad X1D series is I use the bottom right screen when you're in the EVF, when it goes black, the LCD like this, to move the focus point. So right now you're in the EVF and I'm putting my thumb on the rear LCD screen right here, bottom right, and I am able to move the focus point around the screen, and I usually try to move it on Sandie's eye or around there in that area, and so I take the photo. But sometimes I've been getting inaccurate shots, so right now I'm just doing manual focus. So I'm gonna do manual focus right now. We're gonna go inside the viewfinder, and you're just gonna see, or you can look at the LCD screen. Focus ping is orange, so when Sandie's eyes and lips is all highlighted orange like you see now, then I take the shot, and then when we zoom in, hopefully everything is in focus, which it is. So that's how I shoot the portraits.
I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my part.
Sometimes the screen is very...
I'm hurting you as well.
1, 2,
Guess
3.
that we should say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. I guess that we should say we're sorry. We'll say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. We pick up the pieces.
So besides the poor autofocus with the 45p lens, I used to have the XCD 45 3.5 lens, and that was better in autofocusing. Anyway, once you hit focus, you get really, really awesome, sharp, detailed photos. And what's new to the X1D version 2 compared to the version 1 is it actually films in, I believe, 2.5, 2.7K video. It was actually brought up from the regular 1080p from the original version 1. So Sandie's going to be walking down the beach, and we're going to compare the video, which I think it want to do great in compared to the Leica SL2-S. Sandie, how do you like the photo shoot so far? And you're in your second outfit right now.
Yes, so the photo shoot's going pretty well. Everything is coming out very nice, very vivid, and everything's very clear. The only downside was the focus that James was saying.
Yeah.
Does take a while to focus, but when he does manual focus, they turn out amazing. It's very detailed. You can really see all my pores. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but good so far. Good so far.
Some of the photos are like really nice. Like it seems like it picks up the lighting sometimes kind of dark.
Yes.
But I just have to adjust exposure a little bit, and then it looks pretty good. But like what I always say, we can't really judge from the rear LCD. I have to go home on the computer and look at the pictures on the screen. But you were saying you look better in the electronic viewfinder.
Yes. When I look through the viewfinder, everything's so bright, and the colors are more vibrant.
Seems different in the LCD.
Yeah, compared to the screen.
I'm not too sure why. Okay, we'll do the video comparison now. Not much of a video comparison here. The Leica SL2-S not only has IBIS but also OIS on the lens we were using, the 24-105 Lumix. So walking side by side, it was really smooth. But if you notice, the Hasselblad camera, it has really, really nice colors in video. It's not 4K, but it's around 3K. And it does not have autofocus in video, so I had to kind of like pre-focus it, and I had to hold the camera really steady while we were walking here. But if the Hasselblad was on the gimbal and it did shoot 4K and it did have autofocus for video, I think this camera would be really great for video recording because the colors coming out of it is just really nice.
You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on.
So we're done with our photo shoot. The tide's coming in, our feet's getting wet, sun has set. Sandie did an awesome job. Technically her first time modeling and for stills, because you do a lot of event work. Really great job.
Thank you.
Some special features I just want to touch really quick is, I know the lens sucks in autofocusing, but it has a really silent shutter built into the lens. It's rated for over or around 1 million exposures, so you can take 1 million photos without this lens breaking. Also, high-speed flash sync, since it's a leaf shutter, it's rated at 1/2000th of a second. So overall, Sandie, how did you like the photo shoot? And can you please plug your Instagram again?
All right, so the photo shoot turned out great. Everything was really fun. I'm really surprised at how all the pictures turned out. Haven't really seen photo quality just like this. Another amazing feature that James also pointed out was the silent shutter. It was super quiet. I didn't even know James was taking pictures.
I know you kept on doing different poses, like 5 different poses, and I'm still trying to focus. I said, no, not yet, I've been taking photos, but you still kept it moving. Yeah.
But overall, photos are turning out great. And if you guys want to follow me, my Instagram is Sandie Rodrin. Right here.
Thank you so much for helping us out.
Thanks for having me.
On this camera review, of course. And hopefully we'll have you again on the channel.
Yes, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Alright, we are home now. Let's take a look at some raw files from the Hasselblad X1D Mark II. Image quality is the same as the original X1D that I used to have, the 4116 edition. I just want to show you the different color profiles that you can use in Adobe Lightroom. First is camera standard. Adobe color to me looks a little bit washed out, and then you have embedded. Now embedded, you will see the greens and blue change as well as Sandie's skin tone. So let's go back to camera standard, then you have embedded. And the way to enable embedded, if you don't see it, is you gotta click the 4 square boxes. This is the profile browser. Click the plus symbol on the left hand side, click manage profiles, and then under that make sure legacy is checked marked. After you have that checked marked, go down to legacy, find embedded, and you star it on the upper right hand corner. Click close and you'll be able to select embedded from the color profile browser here. And zooming in 200%, a little bit out of focus, a little bit blur. Like I've been saying, I don't really like the 45p on the Hasselblad X1D series of cameras. Zooming in again, it is sharp, but again a little bit motion blur. And just to show you the highlight recovery is very good. And this is camera standard, by the way. So just lowering down the highlights, you get all the clouds back. Right now this is +1, all the way down to -100, you get all the clouds back. Shadow recovery is boosted up 100. Very clean ISO 100. You can see all the details in Sandie's hair, and her eye color comes out really nice. So of course a lot of dynamic range with this camera. Again, you'll see the greens and blue change, camera standard, embedded. It looks totally different. Sometimes the blue looks a little bit unrealistic, unnatural, kind of like a teal blue color. So you may not want to do embedded. You can stick with camera standard versus the Adobe color looks a little bit washed out. And for the editing, I've been sticking with camera standard. So when we got to the beach, I did try out the X Pen, but for some reason the JPEGs in Lightroom wasn't at that aspect ratio. So what I needed to do, let me see how embedded looks for this one. Oh, it looks a little bit better. And if you want to get rid of the vignetting, you just have to scroll down to lens correction, enable the profile correction, and distortion and vignetting goes away. And you actually have to do your own aspect ratio. I believe X Pen is custom. Let me see, I can enter custom. Oh, it was already selectable. I did 65 by 24. So 6.5 by 2.4. I believe that's in centimeters. But it's 65 millimeters by 24 millimeters as an aspect ratio, or 65/24. And when I select that, press enter, this is actually the X Pen ratio. And what is good about using it on the Hasselblad X1D Mark II is since it's 50 megapixels, you still retain a lot of detail zooming in. And this is all manual focus, by the way. You can see all the details in the rocks, water, even Sandie. Last pic I want to show you. This photo is edited, but I just want to show you the before. And this is how it looked like before. ISO 800, still very malleable. You can mess around with it and edit it, and you can make it become like this without any loss in quality. And the grain is very well controlled. So if I do a reset here, zooming in, let's bring up the shots a little bit. At 200% ISO 800, it is still pretty clean. I do like the grain, but I had to manual focus 45p, but once you hit focus, it is very, very sharp. And just bring it down a little bit. And highlight recovery is really good. So on Sandie's outfit here, white looks a little bit blown out, but you just lower it on the highlights to get all the details back. Let's see how embedded looks. Kind of makes the green less of its natural color. Camera standard I really like compared to Adobe color. Yeah, I just stick with camera standard color profile. Well, if you have the original X1D, I would not upgrade to X1D II because it has the same image quality. If you really care about the large electronic viewfinder and you care about the larger LCD and you want a faster operation with the X1D series of cameras, especially the startup was really quick, the shutdown was really quick. The UHS version 2 cards, since I only do portraits, I don't really need the faster speed of the cards. But if you're taking a lot of portraits in a row, the UHS Mark II cards would really help out and clear the buffer quicker. So if I were to put myself back, if I had the X1D version 1, and if I had the chance to upgrade to the version 2, would I do it? I probably would, because the EVF is very nice and large and really clear, and it just helps eye relief looking through the viewfinder on a bright day. And I do like the larger screen where I can put my thumb in the back of the screen. I can easily move the focus points around versus the smaller screen that was on the X1D. The color, I still prefer black, but the kind of steel gray looking color of the X1D Mark II kind of changes in the light depending on what light shines on it. And the color is the type of color that will grow on you. But really, if you just want to save some money for lenses, just keep your current X1D. If you really care about the viewfinder and the rear LCD, I think those are the two main things. If you want to upgrade to the X1D Mark II, then you should do it. But personally, when I had the 4116 edition, the X1D Mark II did come out, and I did not have the desire to upgrade. But after using this for the shoot, I probably would have upgraded. Thank you for watching Guam Photography, and if you haven't, please subscribe.